Gucci do. I want a Gucci move. I want a Gucci ring. I want a Gucci blue. That's probably too loud. Tell me what you wanna say. I have expensive taste, and that's not a fantasy. All these things I want, you should buy it for me. Marry me and Gucci. Say what you wanna say. I have expensive taste, and it's not a fantasy. All these things I want, you should buy it for me. Marry me and Gucci. What is this? This is two. What did I put here? Okay, it's the correct one. Is the correct one? Which is the first of the many correct things. Yes, yes, yes. I don't want to do it. But if the blood's full, I'll give them the view of the thing that I'm gonna do, but I don't think many people care. I feel like I'm just gonna play the private server. I don't have anything else I want to really play right now. The only thing I have prepared, anyways. I should put my phone in its charger. That's something I should definitely do. Just with the phone. Yes. Pull the power mic all the way over there. Oh lord. It's already a mess. It's already ruined. Dream ruined. Birthday ruined. Day ruined. Ah, fuck me. This didn't have a lid on it. Ugh. 10 minutes into the stream and I've already spilled liquid. Oh, this is the fucking... This is my 23rd birthday. All over again. All over again. Ruined. Ruined. That's probably the lid I was looking for. Yep. Sure is. And now my toes smell like sugar. Okay. Are there things in the chat? That's the first question. I do not see said things in said chat. No, there is no one talking. First off, hello. I am Coral. It is the birthday. Officially, at this point. To know how I know that I know, I will show you how I know. I can prove it. Hold up. Other than the fact that my mother is yelling at my nephew to take his ass to fucking sleep. I don't want to have to go in there and be the kid. That's not what I want to do. Not at all. Not at all. Mode. Window capture. Here, I will show you. I will show you proof that is the birthday. Look at balloons. Alright. Okay. You're in the chat. To make this special favor. Retweet the stream. I'm about to do that myself. It'd be great because I'm not sure people will know that I am awake and we're alive. We are going to want to do that. I also have the weirdest fucking itch in my arm. And I know that it's on the spot where I got a light scratch from the machines. But it's really just that my arm is itchy as shit. There's nothing infecting me. I hope there's nothing infecting me. I will not be a happy man. No siree boob. I will not. Absolutely not. I'm sure of all the originally 2, now 3 people here. Just let the rest, just let the questions fly. Let her rip, bitch. I'm ready for you. I'm sure. This is the bukkake. this computer. It is so dog shit. I cannot wait until I replace it. But unfortunately, the plans that I wanted did not go through the way I wanted. Because my old job is a fucking asshole, cause they garnished my checks. And even if I get my money, it won't even fucking matter. Fucking annoying. The reason why it's annoying, I can tell you exactly why. First, I'm gonna have to go beat my nephew. Excuse me. I will be back in a moment. I have to go do some parenting slash uncling. Also, hello. Hi. Hey there. Today you came out as an Asian person, my religion to beat the soul out of you. Don't consider it them beating the soul out of you. Consider it your Asian experience. He enriched your life with the struggle of your people by taking on the important role of the man in your life. But give me one moment. I'll be right back. The terrible 2s and 3s are fucking disgusting, and I have lost more sleep than any person who is an uncle should ever have had to lose for sleep. Only because my brother right now is running the streets at night looking for booty. Shall come home, turn the sun. It's uncomfortable, but it's a living. I should not complain as much as I am right now, but it is what it is. No question. Just wishing you a happy Uterine Emancipation Day. I like that. I'ma take that. Happy HED to you too, stranger. I'm not sure I know what an HEED is, or unless you mean the happy uterine emancipation. Yes, it has been 26 years since I have escaped the womb. The enwombing. Feels so fucking dirty. Because I most certainly did not take a shower. At the same time, did not feel that I would need to since I'm going to shower in the morning anyways. Mm-mm. My tea. Like, I apologize that it's so quiet. I did not have time to set things up beforehand. To be honest with you, I had passed out temporarily for about 50 or so minutes. I missed my own stream timing. It is what it is. Also, I'm buffering something fucking fierce. There's that too. Hmm. One part of my nail. First thing I've learned working this job is that the nails are the first thing to go. As we say down here, dirty nails, dirty dick. No bueno. But at the same time, it's just part of my middle fingernails that is like slowly becoming a razor's edge. And I cannot for the life of me find my emery boards. Actually, just stressing me. I don't like having parts of my body that I can't control the lethality of. And just poking myself to shit every time I scratch my arm. I guess I see the top of my profile on Twitter. That's actually annoying. That's actually tilting me. There it is. And find my damn tweet. Just another reminder of how shit this website is. Yes, indeed. probably invest in a K-cup device. Yeah, should probably do that. Because I most certainly haven't unpacked our coffee maker. So I'm just up shit's paddle without a creek. If you catch my drift. I don't even know if I catch my drift. I'm not even sure if I'm saying words, chat. You recently watched Cuties because of investigative motives. I don't blame you. I also do not blame you if you had a violent reaction. I was having several. Cuties pissed me off something fierce because, see, I actually did the kind of work necessary to catch the kind of people who unironically defend and like that kind of content. And I don't say it just as someone who has gotten through and survived multiple instances of not just that kind of shit, and also working to save people from that shit. But if not any for all those, the most important one being that I have worked with law enforcement to prevent that kind of thing from getting out there in the world. It is a bit skin crawly to watch people make excuses for effectively what is softcore pedo bait, right? And have to go through all the training, go through all the mental preparation, go through all of the work process, deal with dispatch, deal with the courts, deal with the prosecution office, be able to have a conversation with the defense attorneys and all that shit. It is an experience to have lived the life that I have lived and actually deal with saving people. It's not just kids that I worked with, making sure were rescued, but having to work with agencies to prevent actual human trafficking. And to watch people on the internet break their argument for why people should consume the pedo bait come down to, lol, you're a pedophile because you like anime. There is a special kind of rage, burning rage, that is reserved for something so fucking vile. And that's the baseline of what I was feeling while watching that film, because that was the thing that was in the back of my head. Not that Netflix are so stupid that they would try to promote this film as being female empowerment, yes, the experience of girlhood, yes. That's not what pissed me the fuck off about Cuties. What pissed me the fuck off about Cuties was knowing that right now, in the world, unironically, no, this is YouTube. I can say the game word. Niggas defended this shit with a smile on their face, knowing what evil belies the victims and what evil they're serving by playing up things like anime being a gateway to the abuse of children. Because they don't like a particular kind of anime, or they just don't like anime in general, because they still make the same argument of, well, look at them, they're stylizing particular ages of women, etc, etc, etc. There's 50 billion things that they fucking do, but that's the one that boils my blood most of all. The people who take the low, easy road for clout, knowing the shit that happens, especially if they're people who use Twitter, because there's no way you can make an excuse there. If you use Twitter long enough, you will find these pedophiles that are actually out here selling their CP links to that are hosted on a website like Megalinks or Megas dot whatever the hell its extension is. Not because Megas is complicit in it, but because Megas, much like any corporation, once you have a group like that that's big enough that they can just dump an account and they get caught on a website like Twitter, because they are so big that they will never be held accountable because they don't give a shit. They're more interested in affecting the political election. When the company is so big that they are just not held to the rules like Twitter can be, because they've gotten away with it so long with safe harbor rules, and that was before the Twitter hack. To do everything right, to go through all the appropriate and inappropriate sources, to put all the fucking links in, and literally contact handles, the government handles, all of them, they all throw their hands up and like, there ain't shit we can fucking do. They dragging their fucking feet. That's the shit. That's the shit that makes a person into a serial murderer. What's up, Carl? Hello, garbage. Thank you, Raphael. I appreciate it. The movie does have a message. Is that the message is very nasty. It's not some, well, yes, correct, but it's not that. I talked about this with Jay. Let me find that video actually. The problem is not just that it's fucking repulsive. That's not the only problem with cuties as a content source. If the thing you want to call it is them being fucking lazy, right? That's not the only problem, and it's not the most apparent problem on top of niggas defended this, right? The problem is very simple. You made a film that failed to make it clear that you did not do your part to prevent things from being seen as anything other than a repudiation of the thing you are criticizing. You cannot make a film that you claim, if you wish to make that considerative take, you cannot claim to be against the sexualization of children and sexualize minors while you're repudiating the sexualization of children. That is exactly like, what's his fucking name? That is exactly like, there's the link. Lovely. Just paste this a couple thousand times. Fuck. Do. That's the link to Jay Longbone and I's review of the Bad Cuties review that we did on the 15th. Man, the 15th. Time's flying. But, you cannot make a film that's supposed to be the repudiation of pedophilia. Or thethophilia, whatever fucking thing you want to do. We're just gonna say sexualization of children. You cannot make it a film that is supposed to be a repudiation of the sexualization of children and commit the action of sexualization itself. Even if the point that you wanted to make on a meta-narrative point was, well, the fact that I got to do it was the fact that it's a problem. Y'all didn't ask me any questions. You just let this happen. That's not the angle they went with. The angle they went with was, you have to consume this content. It won awards. If you don't support this, that means you're a fucking baby. But you can't handle it. That's the angle they went with. That's the angle the narrative went with. That's the angle the media went with. That's the fucking problem. Right? You are telling people if you don't watch the film, you don't get to have the right to push back against it. And yet, when people then watch the film, you're gonna then turn around and say, well, if you didn't fucking like it, you didn't have to watch it. No, bitch. You told people they needed to see this film. And when they said, I don't want to, I heard and saw what I saw with the fucking details of this, I don't want to watch it, you can't make me. You don't get to then mock the audience and say they are children and that they are immature for having the ability to make the rational choice to deny themselves the anger and outrage they knew they would have from your badly featured product. Because it doesn't matter if it was supposed to be a point of, yes, well, we might have fucked up, but still, this is a good message. We needed to start a conversation. No, the conversation is go to jail. Go to jail. Go to jail. Because this is the point that I made on Jay's stream. You cannot do this. You have abused these child actresses. You have taken something away from them because you did not protect their innocence here. It should have never been possible. It should have never happened. But you allowed it to happen. And now you put the shit on my fucking plate. And I told you don't squat over my plate. Don't shit in my fucking open mouth and tell me that this is supposed to be Granny's peach goddamn tea because it's smelling and tasting a bit like piss and shit. And then tell me, well, come on, man. How do you know it's not piss and shit? I haven't even shat it out yet. Fuck the people who did that. You're all disgusting. Doubly so if you knew what you were talking about. Looney Tunes. All of them. Every single person who defended it. Including the coward Vito Gestalt, supposed member of the Dirtbag Left, fucking justifying the action of his so-called friend, was saying, this film gave me a boner. I was disgusted. That motherfucker. You guys know who I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. Just know that it happened. People like him that decided to walk their take back in silence and not say, you know what? I was wrong, guys. I made the wrong choice. I am now anti this film when I was pro this film. Every single fucking coward that did that need to go to hell. Alright. I got it out of me. I got my rage out. Feeling better. Feeling better. If they keep moving the goalposts, you can't score, and that's the MO. It's not even that they want to just keep moving the goalposts. The point is to keep you talking about anything other than the problem. That's it. It'll be anything other than the issue. That's why you have to address it right out the fucking gate. This is a problem not just with BreadTube, but with people who are fucking charlatans in general. It's the flim-flam, you see? If you're a person on this channel, and you were here to watch the evolution of Carl, that is me, you were one of the people who possibly was privy to me going on to a particular live stream involving a particular corn cob by the name of Jake, who is originally and historically one half of the supposed channel of the Bible Reloaded. The entire point of that stream was me doing two things at once. One, demonstrating how cowardly the BreadTube audience is and how fucking disgusting they are with their reprehensible tactics, and also, at the time, me supposedly going into the defense of to establish and make clear problems that were being exacerbated as lies by the fucking host whom I was supposed to be having a normal conversation with. Now, of course, if you know anything about BreadTube in general, and about these audiences of people that we're talking about, this conversation was never going to be anything other than what they wanted it to be. Because it was their form of the gayest of gay ops of blood sport that the left is allowed to have, because they're not allowed to have actual blood sports, right? But, as you can find on the recording, on my channel, under Big Papa and the Fam, this conversation, it was supposed to be a 4-hour, haha, I got you a live camera expose of exactly how BreadTube thinks, debates, and speaks about things. Not just about themselves personally, but also about other people, and about how they'll attack people the moment they don't get what they want. But it is basically a 9-hour stream of me mentally punishing myself by going through the sloth of the best Trojan horse one can use to demonstrate why they should never be believed and listened. If you have witnessed the discussion of cuties, you can see exactly that in full hold. They come hard out the gate, and then they change the fucking narrative. It's no longer about the thing that it's about. No, it's about this other thing that's important that we don't want to talk about. Because it's easier to do that. It's not easy if you're referencing the thing that happened months ago. It's not easy if you're a supposed member of BreadTube to come out the gate and try and defend your girlfriend. We don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Only for her to come in and have to save your fucking ass because not only did you not know what you were talking about, but halfway through the broadcast when you get outed and revealed as a fucking liar, or at least a disingenuous asshole who's trying to bully someone on camera for money. It sucks to be that guy that tries to salvage everything and act that it's not a problem, and every single time it's brought up in public, completely try to deny or just outright say, oh no, we just wanted to treat them like dog shit because we thought they were fucking reprehensible. It is hard for them to be able to keep two lies going at once. And, oh boy, if you didn't want to punch something then, you should want to punch something now. Hopefully that's an eye-opener for you all. If you have never seen that kind of behavior, hopefully you'll never have to see it again. But let us think of better things. Let us speak of death and desire. Much like my desire to destroy the life of my cake that's sitting in the refrigerator right now that I haven't gotten to, that I would like to get to at some point in time. I'm gonna get to it. Just haven't decided to be a fat ass yet. I'm losing weight, and at the same time I'm gaining weight. I think I put it up. I don't know if I did. But been tracking my weight loss journey, and I feel like it's time for me to start cutting sweets out of my diet. Unfortunately. Which is gonna be hard for me, but Eso si quieres. Right, next question. Oh no, did garbage leave? No. What have you missed on Twitter? There's a lot of things a person probably could have missed on my Twitter. I've basically just been live tweeting before and after and sometimes during work. Because the only time I get to check my phone is during downtimes of my machines. It's a very interesting experience getting to watch y'all have the head ass homie moments without me now. Because my day from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is occupied by work. It's not like I'm bored at work and that I'm just finding ways to try and put myself on the internet and, do the usual shit that I usually do when I had time. But it is just, I don't want to not be there for my audience, is the thing. Because it's become clear to me as I continue to get larger and as people continue to come to me, much like the Bastardess just said, thank you, by the way, that a lot of people realize a lot of shit from when I just openly talk on YouTube and Twitter, and they need that release because it feels like there are a lot of people that are seeing some shit happen and they're not being allowed to release themselves because it's like, oh, I saw this thing, but it wasn't until you said it that I'm like, you know what? You right. It's one of those things, Personally, I dislike it in the sense that I'm not putting myself out there as much as I should. For example, I haven't done a proper stream on Twitch in a hot minute, and the reason why is because I've been occupied with work. I eventually have to put up like an update channel trailer again and let people know where my plans are right now, where the headspace is, because originally the plans were accustomated to the job that I had before the job that I have now. And the only reason I left that job, because I was supposed to do a lot of things for that job. Like, there was a whole fucking plan that I had set and forth, and as soon as that manager that I had before left and the new one came in, it just became hectic. It was a freeing experience in the sense that I was able to have more access onto Twitter then, but at the same time, having as much access as I do already and as being as active as I am on Twitter already, it's at some point I was gonna have to cut back my presence to begin with anyways, and the job just made it easier for me to do that because I'm slowly weaning myself into control of my Twitter expose. Because exposing yourself to the open ass end of the internet is not a safe thing to do in general. So I just had to start doing that. It's not anything for a case of selfishness, if that's what you want to contextualize it as. And I apologize if this is a real rambly. I'm just going at stream of consciousness because it's easier for me to explain to you and make clear what it is I'm saying, and than it is to try and find ways to get around the issue without saying the words. But I'd rather just tell you what I'm thinking. It's better that I have the amount of time to focus on it as I do, because I'll have to start focusing more on streaming in the mornings once I have the money for the computer parts that I need to then afford the computer. Because then once I have the computer up, and then once I get my sleep schedule worked out, which is to say, once I have money to concurrently and consistently buy energy drinks so that I can be awake from, when did I start? Technically, I'm supposed to start at 6 a.m. because that's what an appropriate person with a proper sleeping schedule does. But I wake up at 4:30 every day, regardless. 4:30 in the morning is a flip to begin with, anyways. But once I start getting on a regular cycle again by forcing my body to do what I want until it obeys me, because so far it's been not doing that. I either get up at somewhere between 7. I'm awake at 7, but I'm still in bed until 8:30. I'm not in my computer chair until 9, and I start my job at 2 p.m. Technically, I leave the house beforehand, and it's expensive as fuck to try and order fucking Ubers all the time because it's basically $10 a pop, and that's only if I need to really get to work on time. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That's a 4 to 5 hour schedule opening that gives me time to do my thing. I preferably want to start at 6 because 6 will give me time to have access to my European audience. Also, hello, European audience. It'll give me the time to have that access because then it goes from starting at 9 opening time to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 1. I'll have 8 hours to work with rather than just having the 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is honestly a good sweet spot, but at the same time, it's not. Also, my face feels grungy. Hold on. I'm going to wipe it down with a wipe now. Oh, yeah. Still got fucking dirt on my skin. I scrub and I scrub, but I can't get clean. Especially on the fucking eyelids. Oh my god. It's like the ghost of a chimney sweep just sits on my fucking shoulder and produces filth on me. But having access to 8 hours of, you know, homework, it helps with my schedule and helps with my mental sanity. And having the personal time to myself for 4 of those 8 hours to do whatever I want, and then I get to have 4 hours with my audience, and then the extra 30 minutes that I get when I'm at work, that kind of works out for the time period. I'm sure this has got a bit rambly for people, but again, I would just rather tell you what I'm thinking, you know. So look forward to some announcement about that in the future. If you're any person who really cares about that, but you know, that is what that is. Next question. Rafi. You think the child actresses got paid less than what fully grown actresses would have gotten? Hopefully they got paid even more than the adults. I heard some people suggest that it could have been made with adults that look like kids. Use 18 petite looking actresses and just roll with it. There's one movie on Netflix that was similar in Spicy Water back in the 4chan days called Jailbait and had some questionable scenes and context, but all actresses were over 18. The first question, do I think that they got paid less than what a fully grown actress would have gotten? More than likely, this film was created by a supposed self-proclaimed mausoleum French woman, right? And, you know, the je ne sais quoi of such a situation when you have an indigenous person, as they like to call us for some fucking reason, when you have such a situation like that happen, right? When you have a director make a film based on personal experience and it gets awards like that, you hope that they're not basically telling on themselves, if that makes sense. I hope that those girls got compensation. I really do. I really hope they got proper compensation for their work, because if they fucking didn't, oh my god, take her to jail. Jail. Because on top of creating child porn of them, because that's technically what Cuties is, softcore, but it's still pornography, still pornographic in nature. Somebody could spank themselves over this. To make this film and put these girls at fucking risk and expense like this, where they're gonna grow up with mental fucking problems and look back at this as a dark time of their early careers, if you didn't just kill their careers outright because they're fucking starring in this goddamn film. If they didn't get every single fucking dime of what they're fucking owed, dude, oh boy, am I gonna be extra fucking special sauce pissed. And yeah, you should just be able to, they should just have done whatever they needed to do to make that pay equaled up, from the beginning. They should have made the film, honestly, it would have been better. Not that better is a good is a good measurement here, but it would have been better if the actual cast of the film had been following the older dance troupe. The one where they had the girl that showed the titty. It would have been a better film experience and a better message if the girls of Cuties had been starting at the age of like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Still portraying, teens growing up and shit, right? But, that kind of angle that people like to use a lot where they're like, oh no, they may be young, but they're very mature for their age. The ones who are very early bloomers, and they take advantage of that shit. It would have been a better film, in my opinion, if the opinion you want to go with is that this film can justify its existence. Not that it's a better film because this now it does what it's supposed to do, although it should have done that in the first place. It would have been a more justifiable of its existence film if the film's cast was following the older girl group, and that on the side you had this fucking group of kids imitating them in the form of the Cuties. That you are showing two sides of the coin, right? You show these older girls that are fully aware of what they're doing to themselves, and that on one hand they're doing it because they know they can get away with it. They're at that age where they can basically game the system and get what they want. But then halfway through the film, they start seeing how they have a younger group of girls that are emulating their behavior. And like when it gets to the fight in the scene, where Ami gets her nasty booty exposed and getting pantsed in all the leather hoochie mamaness that she got for trying to pick a fight randomly with those girls. If that had happened in the middle of the film and it had been following those girls the entire time, and it comes to the head after the competition and they're like, who the fuck are these girls that are copying us? Well, who the fuck do they think they are? Then you can't be doing this. It would have hit different. It honestly would have hit different. Straight up. No joke. But that's not what they did. That is not what they did. You made me realize a lot of shit from Twitter and YouTube. Just wanted to say thanks. Also, again, I think I said it already, but again, you're welcome, bastard. Bastardo esu. Movie looks at little girls and just foolish. Both of them and their parents can be in this modern. The movie looks at little girls and how just foolish both them and their parents can be in the day and age. The movie just sucks total ass at delivering the message in a meaningful way. That is correct. It fails to do what the film was supposed to do, which is actually starting an appropriate conversation the right way. This was another thing that I said on Jay's stream. Even though, much like Jay's audience said, I was being too wordy. But yes, it is a problem. It is a problem. I feel like we're sticking a bit too long on this. And I can feel my blood still rising. So, preferably, I'm not saying we can't talk about it. I'm just saying I feel like I'm retreading the same words at this point. But yes, the problem with the film is not just that you did not protect your actresses, but you did not deliver the message in a meaningful way. And more importantly, the container that the message is being contained in is not the device and the receptacle, the context, the viewpoint, and the Overton window opening in which that conversation should ever be begun. Because instead of worrying about the subject material, we're all worried more about, are we going to go to jail later and did we get put on a watch list? That's the important thing to take away from with cuties. Because I said that on Jay's podcast, or I said that on Jay's stream, rather, and I'm repeating that here. The biggest issue is that the container, that the message that you're so not supposed to sexualize children is coming in a hypocritical and broken and completely dissonant container compared to the message that it's supposed to be carrying. And they need to do better next time and not trip over themselves running out of the gate with their eagerness to say, look, don't sexualize girls, don't sexualize girls. I wish I had my burger, but I ate my other burger before I left for work today. So the only thing I'd have left is pasta, or I make ramen, but I don't want to eat ramen right now. I'm gonna go grab my cake. One of my cakes. Hold on. They gave me assorted cakes. Instead of a whole cake, it's 4 slices. One of them is German chocolate caramel. This one is strawberry swirl. Did my chat get desynced at some point? Hold on. Hold on. I'ma fix this if it's fucked up. It does not appear so. No, it does not appear so. Not that I can tell. If I could tell. Since I'm using the browser, I'm just gonna set my cell phone up to play D2 if you don't mind. One of the biggest issues that I've had concerning my time at my new job is I started to notice exactly how much time I actually have during 8 hours of work. It's kind of weird. One of the big I'm also gonna start playing video games here in a second. I have a lot of time on my hands at work, and it's not like there's so much uptime that I literally can never access my cell phone. Because again, I do get 30 minutes to do whatever I want, which is basically my lunch break. But for the most part, I have a foreman who walks behind me. In fact, I spies on what I do throughout the shift, which is his job. But it's like, my job is so simple. I could have my cell phone in one hand and load my machine with the other, while double checking the numbers and parts that I'm churning out a day. And with the exception of my tool changes, there's so much time that's left unoperated and unused. And considering this game can be played on the side during my downtimes, there's no reason for me not to be doing my thing, you know? Mm. That, and I have to keep my phone on anyways. So, why not play my gotcha game? Shit. Why not play my gotcha game the way it's meant to be played, rather than let that time go to waste? I got boosters and shit running. You know what I mean? But I feel I have missed a question. Let me double check. Also, hello and welcome to everybody else that's coming in. Do not be afraid to ask me questions. Do not hold back. There is no such thing as a dumb question until somebody asks a dumb question. But we'll find out. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Don't worry. Mm. Mm. You got into a Twitter fight about Lodicon being pathetic. What is my take? Two things. The first is number one, assuming this person who is saying this is not retarded. Retarded is a strong word here, but it's also accurate and appropriate because I'm really tired of seeing people make this dumbass argument. Be it resolved that we understand what reality and fiction is. For people to constantly reach without stretching, so they can run towards the easiest gotcha they can think of, which is, lol, you're a pedophile because you like lolicon. If they can for one moment remember that you're talking about drawings of children, if they can't put that same level of righteous indignation and justice into solving the active, ongoing, still very much a serious problem, real criminal actions involving minors being predilated on, if they cannot put their energy into doing two things at once, I wouldn't even bother arguing with them. I would just block them. Because those kinds of people, again, are the kinds of people who are never going to realize what the real problem is. That's half the impetus behind why I made my video, from the encouragement and the inspiration from Michelle. Because I heard it did. I heard it did. When I watched Michelle crying at the end of her video. Because those pains and tortures that she was talking about, that's the shit that I had to deal with mentally in preparing myself for the job, and also the shit that I had to deal with for 7 to 10 good long years of work. I said that desiring prepubescent features is a sign of pedophilia, as in the mental disorder. I also said that I didn't care about the fictional girls. Yes, that is correct. This is a very common problem that people have with pedophilia and accusing people of pedophilia. The issue about the pedophile in question, I say the pedophile because we're talking about an archetype of person, and I'm including them as though they are a royal group. So using present articles like the. The problem with the pedophile archetype is that the thing that they're chasing has nothing to do with age. And not in most cases. It has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with looks. It has everything to do with the essence of attraction. Right? This is the issue with why pedophiles and those who are being groomed by them in the narrative of how they speak about their issues are using terminology such as the age of attraction. The important detail of why they use terminology like age of attraction, age of attraction meaning the actual age range in which the Bepper stands upright. When you say you have an age of attraction, for example, of 18 plus and onwards. So, if you have a turn on for people who are the proper age in which to have sex, that should not make you a pedophile, right? Basic logic. Because if they're of the age of consent, who fucking cares what their age is? Right? When you start entering the range of saying, I have an age of physical attraction to people below the age of consent, this becomes reprehensible because the understanding there is that when you say, oh, I'm attracted to people who are from the age of 3 to the age of 9, you go to jail and you take the chair and you take an injection for that. Because that means you're looking at children in general. And they know that this is what they mean when they say that. One of the problems that we had in my job with identifying these kinds of people is that when you catch them in this fucking this thing that they do, that double speak, they'll then write around themselves to say, "Oh no, I meant that I look for those features, right?" Because remember, this is the thing that pissed me off in my hour-long rant that probably I should have edited down, but I didn't want to because it is what it is, right? When they do that dumb shit and you tell them, calm down, son, it's a drawing, it's just a picture, and their fucking reply is, it's a picture of what? That is exactly what the pedophile wants. In no clear, uncertain terms can I make that clear. When you sit there, when you're one of those dumbass people who do that because you think it's funny, you are actually making the argument for the pedophile. For them. Because what you're telling them is, well, see, it's fine. You see, I don't actually want to bang the kids. I just look at them and I think, I could put my dick in that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing, you see. That's what they've always been doing for years. That's why it's wrong to sexualize kids, you see. Because if you say, well, I'm not attracted to the child, I'm attracted to the child's features, it means you would predilect yourself on anything that looks like that, right? This becomes a very serious problem. When you think of, say, women who are diminutive in size, right? It realistically means any person who looks like they are that, even though they are not that. This is probably more common with Asian women and women who blossom when they're young. If you look like you're within the age of attraction and you're unlucky enough to be diminutive, you know, you've got you know, down low you got an ass that can swallow up a G-string, but up top, honey, you got two bee stings. If you're unlucky enough in life to draw that part of the human lottery, and you come across one of these fucking people in the fucking wild, you run the same risk as these kids getting assaulted. And people will excuse that shit and say, oh no, you just don't know what that means, honey. You need to stay pressed, bitch. You need to stay pressed because you don't know what you're talking. No, those are the people that I am fucking angry at most of all, because they're the ones that make my fucking job hard. It hurts my brain, man. It hurts my brain. It should become obvious at this point for most people. I'm gonna eat more. I'm gonna eat this other one, but I'm gonna eat it later. It becomes a problem. Because you see, when you have people who will make excuses for these groups of people, it makes it easier for them in the future to be able to become legalized. This is what's been happening with places like San Francisco. Because of course the Californians have to destroy my fucking original home state. And this is even worse in Hawaii. Oh boy, is it worse. But they make it easier for them to make narratives and to make defenses because they can always be able to lean back on that logic. Oh no, that's not what it means. That's not what I'm into. No. Fuck no. I'm not stupid. The thing that they want is they want the essence that comes with it. More specifically, to be exact. Because this is the thing that you gotta understand with the entire, but it looks like a thing though. This is the thing that's very key. This is why I didn't say it's about the looks, it's about the essence. The thing that the pedophile wants is that they want to attack the very innocence of childhood. Also, thank you, Adriana. Thank you. Yes, 500 feels nice. I think I'll take 1,000 now very soon. I hope I can get 1,000 before this year's out. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. But yeah, the problem with this narrative that's created by dumbass people that try to make this fucking defense, right? It's yes, exactly, Rents. It's different when a guy says he likes small tits and a guy who says he likes small titty, 5 foot, extremely petite baby face, etc., etc. Right? On one hand, you have an eccentric individual who goes after a thing, you know, like it's the difference between a guy who has a preference for smaller women or larger women or women in general. And then the difference between a man who does all of that age of attraction shit, and at the same time they're doing that, they say, but I'm totally not like that though. That's just not the thing that I'm into. It's just this other thing I'm into, right? I am trying to think of an analogy to make this easier to explain. Because what I'm explaining, I'm basically giving you the same job training that I was given. It is like saying that you like ice cream. One person prefers Neapolitan, and the other person prefers white chocolate. The person who prefers Neapolitan is not adverse to having several different flavors all at once. But what's to say that, you know, when they get their Neapolitan ice cream, they eat the strawberry first sometimes. Maybe sometimes they eat the chocolate. Sometimes they eat the strawberry. Or if you're like me and you eat the tropical flavorings, sometimes they eat the coconut before they eat the mango. or before they eat lime sherbet, right? And then over here, with the person who likes the white chocolate, I love saying chocolate, chocolate. The person who eats the white chocolate, they're the person that says, "Oh, look. I'll eat anything, right? I'm not adverse to it, but I really love this white chocolate, you know." That's the problem there. Because outside of that window, when they say, I could try anything, what they're really saying is, I know I could have my pick of anything else, but I only want this. Whereas the other person is saying, I'm not adverse to any of this shit, bitch. Like, yes. Taste the rainbow, savor the flavor. But you know, sometimes I like to eat the vanilla first, and then sometimes I eat the strawberry first, and then sometimes I eat the chocolate first, and then sometimes I swirl that bitch up until it looks like a fucking Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory screen transition, and I just go. That's the difference. Which is to say, using myself as an example against this kind of fucking weird ass pedophile that I'm describing, I love women. Tall, blonde, short, brunette, strange, goth, singing girl, southern girl, old southern girl that really is into race play, etc., 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 etc. I fuck all tastes of the rainbow, baby. Yes. I don't hate any of it. However, I do have many a preference. And much like these queens of spades down here that live in the Bible Black with me, I have learned to take a liking to the white southern women because they have an appreciation for man meat. If you know what I'm saying. I don't turn any of them away. I won't say no if you offer me some ice cream. I'm not having a facial expression. I'm trying to get you to understand my metaphor here. Right? I won't turn any of it away. I won't say no unless they're exceptionally aggressive and thirsty. But I will eat the ice cream. 100%. But I do have a flavor that I prefer sometimes. That's not to say that I won't have any flavor, but I have a flavor I prefer. Whereas, pedophile knows that they could have all of these other flavors. But no. In the words of Young Roe, I may be 6 feet tall, but I like my bitches short. The pedophile knows. Pedophile, pedophile, ephebophile, I don't care what you call it. The sexual predator. And this is very important too, especially when you're talking about sexual predators in the sense of men and women who are chasing after a particular thing, and it has nothing to do with age of attraction, because age of attraction is just the excuse they made up for this shit to get away with it. The predator does not care about all of the other flavors. They just want that particular flavor, and only that particular flavor within that particular sect, within that particular area of the store where they sell that ice cream. Because it has nothing to do with the brand. It has nothing to do with the type. It has nothing to do with the date of culturing. It has everything to do with how that particular thing they are looking for makes them feel inside. It gives them the tingly feelies when they get the particular thing that they're looking for, you see. They don't do it because of what it looks like. They could care less what it fucking looks like. Because if they start specifying down, that would be prejudice. And last I checked, that's a hate crime. But more importantly, to wrap this up, they do it because the thing that they're getting is the je ne sais quoi of why it is such a fucking crime. It's why to violate people in this egregious manner is such a fucking evil thing. Because it's the innocents that they're going after. Now, it would be just as egregiously bad if the thing that they were hunting wasn't children in this case, but was of age girls, but only specifically virgins. That's the problem, you see. It's the innocence that they're looking for. It's the innocence, and it's the fact that the person does not know what they should be looking out for to protect themselves from. So they don't get to have the chance to even realize what danger they're in. Innocence, vulnerability, inexperience, and more importantly, possession. They wish to possess the thing that they themselves lack. And they want to take it. However, it's not just that they want to take it. They want you to give it willingly. That's the part that's so fucking evil. Because if you get kids young enough, or if you get adults that are naive enough early, you can take this je ne sais quoi from that person, and you will fuck them up for life. And that's the reason why we try to protect children from this shit. It's why we try to protect women in general from this shit. Because some women, they really cannot fucking handle this kind of shit. 100%. Guys can't either, by the way. But it's one of those things that you cannot save. You can save a person, but you can't save their mind. Sometimes. They can leave the situation scarred for life, but they can survive it. But only if they have the fortitude to get over it. If they don't, that person can outright be as good as dead. It hurts my soul to say nonetheless. So the bad guy from Orphan is a turnoff from pedos. It is a turnoff to pedos. Orphan is the film with the Russian girl that is several years old, but is posing as a child, yes? We're thinking of the same film. I'm just waiting on the answer to the question to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Yes. Okay. Then technically, it depends. If the thing that the person in question is looking for is a person who looks a particular age, you know, if you're looking for somebody who absolutely does believe in that age of attraction bullshit, she or they would still be at risk of being assaulted, depending on if the thing they're looking for is somebody who optically looks like a child. If what they're looking for is someone who they know is innocent, you know, in the ways of the world, biblically, they would indeed be a turnoff if that was what they're looking for. Because by definition, if she looks like a child, but she's 30 fucking plus years old, and she's just faking it, or unfortunate enough, they have some kind of degenerative disease that makes them look like that, or they just are really unlucky in the lottery of life and they just look like that, yes, they would be a turnoff. Because again, what they want is to be able to take the thing that they're looking for from them. If they're just hunting kids because they think kids are vulnerable, they 100% would still attack that person. They probably would get killed by that person because, they're attacking into something that they don't know anything about. And ultimately, they are exposing whom they are. And it'd just be as easy to turn that shit around on them as one could be wont to do. But, yeah. If the thing that you're looking at is that particularly, then yes, that will fuck them over highly. And that will be, as the kids say, the bop. It depends, honestly. I'm just scanning the chat for questions while I'm updating shit. My mouse is falling apart, much like everything else. Also, let me change the screen. Body pain. Keep the questions coming, chat. Don't be scared. I don't bite unless you want me to. I'm so fucked tall and I'm royalty. Nothing here on my way. Royalty. Something on my way. How many hours of bonus do I have left? And how many hours of D2 do I have left? 7. Poopy. Poopy. How do furry pedos fit? I'm not sure the context, Rents. You're gonna have to be specific. What do you mean by fit? Do you mean fit the archetype? Are they the same kind of bad with just an icing on their evil? That depends on what you mean by furry pedo. Are you talking about zoophiles? Or just pedophiles that happen to be furries? Shit, I've got to put this on the slot. 6 foot tall and royalty. Okay, I have enough actually. Pedophiles who happen to be furries. In the case of pedophilia, the most heinous thing you can do to a person is violate them. However, furry pedophiles are not the same as zoophiles. Furry pedophiles, furries who also are these things that we're talking about here, their evil reaches a certain depravity that cannot be described by the human mind in words that are anything less than beast-like. You could say they're the evolved form of an untapped humor, almost. Realistically, for myself, in my own opinion, I view zoophiles and furry pedophiles like Snake Thing. May he fucking get his ass raped in jail. I don't fucking care. He deserves some booty hole blasting. Especially after what he and fucking Kira the Wolf did to that dog. I view them as the same thing. Evil for the sake of evil because they're evil. However, the mindset of a furry pedophile is not the same as a zoophile. Because the furry pedophile, they have a very interesting mental dynamic. In my time working with the police department, the thing that I came to in my studies, because my job as the digital archive forensic expert, as well as being the bait and also the catfisher, was to actually collate new tactics and data that could be extrapolated from what we were pulling during our stings. What we were coming across as a commonality to the issue of how to best catch these predators. The thing that we came to notice about furry pedophiles, and zoophiles in particular, is that furry pedophiles are the baby evolution of what a zoophile becomes. It's a bit like a person who's about to commit a robbery for the first time. They're so scared of what will happen. They know the risks that come with it. But they still have some level of consciousness. But at the same time, there's the voice in the back of their head that's telling them, do it. Do it. Do it. Come on, you know you want to. Look at him. Just sitting there. Looking good. Come on, baby, take a ride. You know you want it. Compare that to the zoophile, who is 1000% in control the entire time. Because the furry pedophile, or furry predator here, because most furries, in my experience of actually having to be around them, there's a lot of them down here in the Bible Black. I'm just going to keep saying Bible Black because it's better than saying Bible Belt. Many of the people that I've met down here in the South, even if they are furries, the nicest and sweetest and also the most law-abiding citizens you could ever fucking meet. Half the reason most of them have money is because they have such good jobs and careers. But, and this is from their own mindset, because they were the ones that helped me explain this to the police department so we could better do our fucking jobs. The thing that the furry wants is they are always searching the edge of physical ecstasy. Of how they can best incorporate things into their sexual delicatessen. Their sexual diet, if you will. Right? You know, they're not they don't threaten them with a good time because they're not averse to a good yiffin'. In or out of suit. And that's the thing that's very important there. A lot of them are more charismatic than you'd think. They just really like dressing up in suits. It is how they make themselves feel better, you see. I forget what hentai it's called. But there's a hentai where the main character, yes, very much like sexual drug addicts. Actually, yes, friends. There's a hentai where the main character is a dude who cannot have sex unless he's cosplaying. And the story of the hentai as it goes is like him learning to have sex out of the suit. That is what furries are, technically. They are a lot more charismatic and a lot more interesting than you can think, right? And that's the men and the women. The women, very much especially if you're familiar with Lamb Hammer, because they themselves are furry adjacent, if not an outright furry. But the furry, they're not adverse to being seen in public. They're not adverse to showing their face. They can be very, very, very confident when they want to be. It's just that they understand that people, when they hear the word furry, are going to have a very particular reaction. So they would rather, if they're going to face the world wearing the fursuit like it's armor. This is why, and this is a recent development, because I keep every so often poodles, men and women who dress in half fursuit. So, like an actual poodle, head and gloves and feet, but showing off the body. Poodles will put on the head and the shit because that's just their way of greeting the world. If they could have it their way, they would literally not wear their bodysuit. Which is to say, they would go out in public with the head and the paws and the feet, but just, dangly bits. All hanging out and shit. Because a lot of them look really nice. It's just how they prefer to greet the day. It's really what it is for them. It is like a suit of armor that protects them. Because they have to take those precautions. Because, well, look at the furry community! The word furry itself, almost, if not literally, specifically, is another word of saying sexual deviant who has no self-control. Because look at how fucking pervasive problems within the furry community, if that's what you want to call it, is. This is different than from the zoophile, right? Because if you're a furry, and I know I have some furries in my Discord and also as followers, I like you and I appreciate you, especially if you are an artist. It is one thing to be a furry. It is another thing to be a zoophile. A zoophile is to a cold-blooded murderer what is a person who occasionally shoplifts to save themselves from doing worse crimes. You steal from the supermarket so you can feed yourself so that you don't hold up a bank for money. They are to that what an unrepentant criminal is to a first-time offender. Which is to say, a zoophile is a hard-boiled sexual predator that will not and does not and cannot care. Because they do not care anymore. They have turned off the voice in their head that tells them to have shame. They can't have shame anymore. Why would they? They've been doing this shit for too long. Why would they be concerned with what you feel and what you think? They already know that they're going to be demonized. And more importantly than that, they know that they've done worse shit than what they will be caught for. So who cares if people say, lol, you're a furry, because they clap cheeks in a suit? They probably have done worse shit. And since most of them, if they are zoophiles, are such monsters, they're just people who learn how to move in their circles without ever giving off the air that there's anything dangerous about them. And this is what's most dangerous. The most twink looking of zoophiles are the more hardened criminals than double recidivist murderers. Men and women who have gone to jail for murder and homicide and double homicide, triple homicide, all that shit. Spree killers, murderers, whatever you want to call them. They are more hardened than them. And it's because they know that they have to play two kinds of games. The first game is an optics game, and the second game is how can they keep the voice in their head dead, and how can they not suffer a guilty consciousness. The plain answer is that they just stop caring. They just don't care. They are unconcerned for anything. They are so fucking narcissistic, and they are so self-serving. They are only chasing their own desire. That is why they can justify things and say, oh yes, my animal can consent. What do you mean? Animals can definitely consent. They can consent to being pet. So if they can consent to me scratching their bellies, what's to them saying that they can't consent to my penis? That is the shit that they say. It is the exact same logic as Age of Attraction. It's just changed for species. Were I one of the people watching the Neil Breen watch party? I was not in Cigarette Art. Not unless that was a very long time ago, in terms of like months ago. If it was recent, probably not. I probably showed up for it, and I was there for like 10 minutes, if that's the case. But I don't remember this, so I don't know. We're going to lean on no. You probably are thinking of Poe. This is just a sliver of fucking experience. My nose is getting stuffed up. I'm scared to try and start any other apps, because Brave is at a whole bunch of memory being eaten the fuck up. And I want to keep using the browser to look at chat so that I can use my cell phone to play my game, but it's likely that it's going to become not the case. And if I have to sacrifice time playing my game to do this, or to say that the correct way around, if I have to sacrifice the use of my cell phone so that I can read the chat and play my game at the same time, I will sacrifice this. So, there's that. This is the quietest you've ever been. Okay, I'm gonna go. Wait. What? Wait. Something wrong with my sound? Am I not talking? Mic's on. No, the mic's on. Or did you mean something else, Jay? Also, hi, Jay. This is the quietest I've ever been. Is this really the quietest that I've ever been? I'm just reacting to chat. Thought I was keeping up, chat. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to close Brave. That's the problem that I'm having right now. Sucks. I suppose I can also watch chat through my OBS. That's a thing that I can also do. Let's see how that works, actually. Okay, let's... Let me close Brave. And then let me turn my mic up. Because I don't know what Jay meant when she said I was quiet. Was that I'm not talkative? Or that she couldn't hear me? I don't know which one. I don't know which is which. I wish she didn't go. Brave is being an ass. Come on, browser. Give me back my physical memory. Yes. My data. Give me back my data. OBS is already a resource hog. Alright. prepared and ready. Good. 2:34. We have plenty of time. I'm not sure if I'll be live for all the time I just said. Because 8 hours of a birthday stream is pretty long. We're not nearly close to done, chat. So, keep asking questions. Keep them coming. Keep it hot and ready. Like my name is Little Caesars. Their pizza's not horrible, but it's also very garbage. Well, bud, it's been real and it's been fun, but it's 2:35 and I got 2 kids. I hope you have a great day, my dude. No problem, man. I would have imagined people would have had a lot more questions for me. But then again, I am streaming in the early ass of the morning. So that's kind of fair, I guess. Just to be expected. But this is the only time that I can actually be able to communicate to people anymore. It's just unfair for you guys, honestly. But it is what it is, what it is, what it is. Who do I think is the best person to follow on Twitter? That's an interesting question. Do you mean out of the group of my personal friends, or do you mean in general? I can give you answers to both those questions. If you mean who is the best person to follow in general, I would say the best people to follow in general are the people who cover the news themselves as independents. Temple, the account known as Secretary SFO, Diana, Michelle. I don't know Jay's first name. Hold up, I'm gonna ask her. Shit, I closed my browser. Let me ask on Discord. But Diana Winter, Michelle, Chapmort. I would say Poe, but Poe is a mixed bag because, can be an interesting individual to talk to, but sometimes he can be, a bit wild. Amy's always a good follow. Rick's also a good follow. The Ebony Maw is also a good follow. Christina Tasty is a good follow as well. Sophia Norowitz is also a good follow. Pretty much in general, any person who is a cringe lord like me, or any person who is who is a person of interest. They are interesting. They have things of interest to talk about and do. No one else in particular is directly coming to mind at the moment. But that would be the people who I would suggest out of my social circle. Oh, Michelle. But not Michelle. I actually don't know what Spooky's name is, but Spooky Weep Trash. Her. Magog, Count Dankula, those people. That would be who I would suggest in general, out of my friend group, and also out of accounts to follow. Follow any person who has interesting things to say. If the account feels like you're gonna learn something, or is posting things that you want to see, like the account runner of Amazing Chest Ahead, that would be an account that you could follow. Because sometimes you can find out some things from interesting places that you would never expect the information to come from. Always expand your horizons. That's what I would say. Today should be the day of reset. No, it is not. Unless that it is. Or maybe it's not officially because it's not actually 7 a.m. yet. Yes, give me the present. Thank you, Big T Irish Gaelic Goth Woman. Where do I see myself in 5 years? In 5 years, I see myself doing this. I'm not sure how to turn down the audio of my game. Actually, no, I do know how to turn down the audio of my game. I do it manually. But, my 5-year plan. From age 25 to age 30, I'm building a business. And that business is my business here. My YouTube, my Twitch, my actual brand and company. From square one, from the ground up, I established myself the same way that those who are my contemporaries have done so. Yay, my character is also older. Woohoo! I established myself the same way that my contemporaries and my mutuals have. And I am working from home as a full-time streamer and broadcaster, content creator, whatever word you want to use for me that is applicable. And I do that as my job. And I have fun doing it. And I enjoy the work that I do while I'm doing it. I have to run Pantay. I also need to do my dailies, but I'm not sure if there's anybody who's on who can do them. I also need to get more ego feed. Yeah, that is my plan. My plan is to do everything necessary to become a full-time streamer. And part of that is doing the work that I am doing now. I'm suffering at the job at which I work. It's not actually suffering per se, because I don't actually hate myself while I'm doing this work. But I have to toil and suffer and work really, really hard so that I no longer have to work that hard if I don't want to. The first step is putting in the effort. The second step is then becoming comfortable with the effort that I put in. And the third step is reaping the rewards of my hard labor. That only comes after the work is done. And part of that job, part of getting to what I want, so that I can have fun and spend time talking to my audience and doing what interests me and not what I have to do, you know, if you want to say covering the news is something that I have to do, the way that I want to do that, so that I can control what I choose to do with my time, and no one else can decide it for me, that is a thing that I want to have the ability to control, and that I want to be able to focus on. And the only way that I can focus on that is to physically do whatever the fuck I can to make that dream a possibility. It's not going to happen all at once. That has to be clear. It's not something that you can just do overnight and it's just going to work out whenever the fuck. It's just not. Any person that tells you that is lying to you. They're trying to sell you something, and what they're selling you is a false hope and dream. Ah, fuck me. What you mean it's not adequate for a campfire? It's on the open fucking road. I don't care if it's raining. The only way that I'll be able to get the things that I want in life, the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want and to go wherever the fuck I want, to talk about whatever the fuck I want, that freedom only comes after I work myself near to death. That's half the battle. Nah, fuck me. I only got the fucking defense. Wanted the fox. Sorry, I blinked there for a second because I was thinking about the other thing I wanted to say, while also focusing on the game. But, ow. Get my negative and positive scrolls in alignment. Snake prefix, max damage 1, 1, 2. But the only way that I'm gonna get to want to do the things that I want to do is to have that freedom and work at it. And the only way that I'm gonna be able to chase that work ethic is to basically, like I just said, work myself to death. But it goes a step beyond just acid reflux. It goes a step beyond just working myself to death. I have to work so hard that when people make excuses for themselves, or when they start doubting me and saying, I don't know, that Carl fellow looks like he's one of those people that's trying to sell me something. They're like, oh no, actually, not only is he selling me something, and he's selling me something that I want, he's selling me something while telling me he's selling me something. And he's letting me make the choice to give him the money. So I'm just gonna give him the money. Because look at him. Look at him go. Ooh, talented black man. Yes. You know? That's the kind of energy that I want to bring to my business. I want to bring the kind of energy that attracts people based on my charisma alone. But then, they come for the charisma. And they come for the dank memes. And they come for the levels of bullying. Right? Bullying of both myself and also the light ribbing of topics that I talk about. being just all ways of just being completely irreverent to the world. They come for that, but they stay because actually I'm an actually good person, in the sense that I not only do what I do, but also I do it while enjoying it. You know what I mean? It's hard to get that across in a way that sounds like it's not rambly, as I'm being, as I have been told I want to do. But that's realistically the best way I can describe it. There's a certain amount of effort that I have to put in that I will never feel that I have completely succeeded at getting and doing, because I'll never feel that I've done it properly. You know? I'll always feel like I am not doing enough. And it's only after someone will tell me or show me that I'm doing enough. Where are you, sharp mind? There you are. It'll only be after they tell me, or I am shown, or that I think I have finally succeeded at doing the thing that I wanted to do, that I'll be at the freedom to really reach out and oh god, this is a lot of acid reflux. And I'll feel that I've reached out and gotten it. It's something that I wish I didn't feel this way about, because on one hand, wanting something too much can sometimes be a case example that you should not have it. But at the same time, this is the kind of shit that I've been preparing myself for. No. I'm so hungry for it, not because I am desperate, but because I know that I can do this. And when I talked to my godfather about this, when he called me out of concern, he understood what it is that I'm doing, and he knows that I've been preparing myself for this, because he said that if this is what I want to do, that I already knew how hard it was going to be to do it. And I told him, absolutely, yes, I do know. So mentally preparing myself has been one step, and the other step of this 5-year plan of mine, because that's what I'm talking about here, the other step is getting to the point where I no longer feel the trepidation that I'm feeling. Because part of the reason I feel this trepidation is because I am always thinking, and not just always thinking about something, I'm always thinking. My brain never turns off. I try to turn it off, but I can't. It's just not the kind of person I am. And it's because my brain works like that. I'll sit here spinning my wheel, trying to think of new and interesting, innovative ways that I can either sell myself or sell my product, or promote and sell someone else's product, support somebody, do something other than nothing. Because I will never feel like I'm doing enough. Because at some point, everything will come together and click, you know? My plans, so far, as I planned them originally in this year, all went to shit. Like, the plan with the job went up in fucking smoke, because the woman that they brought in to replace my original manager completely fucked over all of the things that I was trying to do. And she fucked me good. And she did it just because she wanted to. Just because she didn't like my face. She decided the best thing she could do is just destroy what I wanted to do. And just make my job impossible. But at the same time, especially with the growth of the channel, even saying what I'm saying right now is something that I am still trepidatious about. Because again, there are some people out there in my audience, I know who they are because they've made themselves known. They will say, no, you're being too much of a tryhard. That means you don't deserve to have it. You're not ready. And honestly, I'm just tired of hearing it. In general. Not that I'm displeasurable about that, because it's a healthy amount of skepticism. I appreciate it, actually. Because it allows me to tell myself, don't get too big, don't get too much of a big head, nigga. You got a long way to go before you got time to talk some real shit. But at the same time, I will always be prepared to do what must be done, which is drag these motherfuckers up and down the timeline, but it'll always feel like I'm doing either too much or not enough. And at the end of the day, what I just want to do is I just want to do my thing. You know, I just want to be able to laugh and kick back my feet at the end of the day and say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. A day to laugh and to learn and to play and get along with each other. What a wonderful kind of day. You know? That's what I want to be able to do. That's what I want to be able to give to other people. And until I get to the point where I feel like I'm able to supply that, I don't know. I'll always feel like there's something holding me back. Either myself or some inevitable wall that I've hit. That's just in my way. And I just have to find a way around it and move it. Because I feel if I try too hard, I'm moving it by force. And other people will recognize the amount of effort I'll put in. And they'll point at me and say, huh! Look at him! He's struggling! He's struggling! And I'm just trying to avoid that. Maybe what I'm describing is unavoidable. But you see, I would be more worried if I did not feel like this. If I had no concern and I was like, this shit ain't nothing. I ain't got fuck to worry about. Fuck these things. If I felt like that in the inside, then I would definitely be fucking scared out of my goddamn mind. Because this is something that I had as a conversation with my sister. Where I was afraid that I would get so down in the hole that I would not know what to do next. And ultimately, I would overplay my hand, so to say. Or so to speak. I would overplay my hand. I'd make a very serious... Oh my god. I would make a very serious miscalculation of my career choice. I would do the wrong thing. I would say the wrong thing. I would advocate for the wrong whatever. I would do something flippant in the pursuit of antagonizing someone who deserves it or deserved it. And really do some serious damage that I can't take back. And I'd find myself in a situation where I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. I wouldn't be able to get up in the morning and say, yep, I'm happy with my choice in life. Because I knew that either I'm holding myself back or I made a miscalculation based on not having enough information and evidence. And it's this feeling that I'm talking about that has been a fear for me for a while, but it's become less and less of a fear and a concern because I've just mentally prepared myself for people to, you know, say some shit anyways. I could be as perfect as one can be. And even if I do everything perfectly right, I make no mistakes, I don't, you know, I don't become a dank Vosh. Which is to say, a fucking moral hypocrite. If I don't do any of those things, and I remain true to myself, while at the same time having fun, doing what I'm doing, enjoying my time doing what I'm doing, and just, you know, dealing with the process, going through the motions of the business, and acquainting myself with whatever I feel, at the end of the day, I will not feel that trepidation that I have anymore. It won't even be a concern. I won't even be worried about it. I'll be like, fear what? Uncertainty who? Nah, fuck that guy. I don't know his name. Who is he? You know? I need water. Or I need more juice. This was probably a longer explanation than what you were expecting. Hey, this is what we're here for. if that was too much and too long, I'll wrap that up by saying, TLDR, my 5-year plan, where I see myself in 5 years, is being able to help others the way that the strangers that I don't even know, both in life and on the internet, have helped me. I have my current job because I was so good at my job at the C-store that the second shift crew of the factory spoke directly to the recruiter at the staffing company, so that when I walked in the door, they asked me, "Hey, are you Carl?" And they immediately got me the job. And I started the same, well, I didn't start the same day, but I got my hand, I did the handshake, I got my shit set up, and then the day that I called them after the 10 days of rest that I was giving myself to mentally recuperate from the abuse that I'm putting myself through, after that 10-day period of rest, as soon as I called them on that fucking Monday, a week ago, I got the job that Monday. I want to be able to help my audience overcome their fears and issues the same way I'm coping and coming over mine, mostly by myself. I say mostly by myself because there are people that I talk to on the side. There are people who I concern myself with, who I go to for guidance. Because I used to have a person who is no longer here on this planet. It'll actually be, by tomorrow, the very first year anniversary of his death, actually. There's a video on the channel that you can watch if you want to. Originally, at the time that that video was made, I said that I wasn't sure if I'd keep it up or not, but I'm not going to take it down. I respect him too much. I want to be able to give the same help to others that was given to me by people like him and people like the mutuals that I have who have helped me come this far, because there is no such thing as overnight success. And right now, I am currently struggling with what could be possibly unfounded, but very oh my god, I'm just choking on my own dick. Why am I sucking so much ghost dick? Who? What? Where? Whose love sausage is going down my throat? Stop it! I don't want it! I want to be able to push back against what I am possibly unconcerned with being, but is an actual concern of feeling that I'm not ready enough, that I'm not prepared enough, that I didn't spend enough time studying the culture, I didn't spend enough time studying the industry, I didn't do enough market research. I'm trying to overcome that feeling and truthfully begin giving even less of a fuck than I already do, while at the same time making it clear to my audience and those who watch me and those who will watch me, I know you seen those other niggas out there, but this is the real deal Holyfield, ladies and gentlemen. When this man says, "I'm out here for you," he really means he's out here for you. He's serving takes and scraps and he's pulling fucking scalps for free. You don't have to pay me money to do it. I'll antagonize these people who mock us and attack us for free. I'll do this shit for free. I just want you to have fun while I'm doing it. And then maybe you pelt me in the eye with a fucking roll of quarters. That's my goal. That's my plan. Everything that I do on the way up or on the way down, wherever we go, everything that happens along the way, while possibly important, is inconsequential to the larger goal at hand. Can I check your inventory? Yes, I can. Hallelujah, I can check their inventory while they're unconscious. Just like a real murderer. But, it is my concern that moving forward, the things that possibly haunt me a bit more than they probably should will no longer be a worry in my mind. And that I'll be able to focus on whatever it is I want to focus on. I have to remember, the parts are on Bootlicker. I'll be able to focus on whatever I want to focus on. And as I focus on those things, and as things happen, everything else that is of no concern to me will not be a motivative problem. I will be able to do what I want, when I want, how I want, and bring whomever I want with me along for the ride. I knew I had more burnables. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is, and I will be happy and comfortable with my rise and or fall, should that be what the good Lord has in plan for me. I don't know what the plan is, honestly. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'd be lying to you if I said that I did. What I do know is that I'm enjoying my time doing what I'm doing. And stay tuned, motherfucker. I got a lot more coming up to make you happy. That's really all I can say there. Because I don't know what I'll do other than what I want. And what I want is whatever brings me joy and whatever sparks joy. You know what I'm saying? If I like it, I hope you like it. And if you like it, I love it. How's that for an answer? That still feels a bit wordy. Perhaps the people are right. Perhaps I am too mouthy. I have 6 stacks of golden, and I can fit 2 more in. You said it, Potty. Alright. Make sure I catch up with chat. Next question. I hope there's a next question. I'm not sure if my thing updated or not. Does not look like it did so. No, it did not look like it did so. That is an unfortunateness. I'm going to see if I can get this open on the side device. Hold on. Come on. Come on, cell phone. Operate with me. Take me to my home screen. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'm not sure how many of you there is out there right now, because I'm not looking at the screen directly on the feed. I know you're out there. Oh my god. Every single time I open this goddamn app, it asks me if I want fucking YouTube Red. I've said no the first 100 times. What made you think I'd say yes after 101? Fucking woke jicky. I don't want your YouTube TV. It sucks ass, and you protect predators and harmers of animals. If anything, as a motivation, I should hope that I should be able to grow so that I can have more people to ask me questions in the future. I honestly like answering questions, but I feel like people are scared to hear what I have to say. And then I try to open fucking YouTube and it closes the app automatically. Groovy! Oh god, come on. Come on, cell phone. Operate with me. There we go. Okay. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. Still making me fucking wait. Ah, it does not appear. Not for now. I will keep my eye on that. And then I will rejoinder you. Yeah, it's just been 2 questions. Okay. Okay. Scared that I missed something. Alright. Is there anything else that I have to burn? Does not appear so. Hmm. God damn it. Back at it again with the inadequate bonfire. Fuck me. Put it on the fire. God damn game. Alright. There's the fox. God damn it. Fuck. Go on the fire. Lots of failures tonight. Lots and lots of failures. The rank of defense is D. Balance +3. That's pretty dog shit. Alright. Negative, negative, I don't care about that. And the good ones. Plus the pennant I'm gonna put it on. I'm running out of holy waters. Let's start with this. Lovely. Ah, another question. Do you think Twitter will survive 5 more years? Do you see it dying out in the next 10 or so, or do you think it will become even larger than anyone can think? That's a good question. If the government does its job, the answer is maybe. The problem with Twitter, on top of the rampant fucking issues that already exist on it, that we've talked at length about at this point, the biggest problem with Twitter is that it is an example of the thing that people really shouldn't do, which is basically hoping that they get famous through clout on the internet. And the reason this is a problem is because of the decentralized amount of the internet that it is. By design, even though Twitter is an unpopular website, it has government money in it. Because it's technically a secondary service. Shit, fuck me. It is a secondary service of the government. It is the source from which almost all information that happens concurrently is being disseminated and gathered from. I should have bought a roll of Tums. Excuse me. I need some actual water. Buenísimas. Jesus Christ. You guys, I'm just gonna have a coffee fit. I don't know. Buenísimas. I'll go a minute say. Finish with my answer. On top of the issues that we already have with Twitter, it is a website that technically is going to. I forgot to shut my bedroom door. That is going to continue to be a problem on the internet as a whole. Oh, the coughing stopped. Because Twitter is where news comes from. The 48 to 72 hour news cycle begins and flows around social media. Having a centralized form of social media, like that of Twitter, goes against what the internet was supposed to be about, which was about the open, wild, untamed parts of the web. Not the same 10 to 20 websites stealing content from one another. It's only been allowed to continue to be what it is because it is serving that function of being the open ass end of the internet exposed to the entire world. Because you have that problem. Or more specifically, you have people who are unable to solve that problem. You have deep, deep relying issues that cannot be figured out. I forgot where I was in my answer. I was trying to hope my throat would clear by the time I got it straightened out. Oh, it's been allowed to exist because of the government money and because of the fact that it's serving the purpose of giving people an outlet for their schadenfreude. But the problem is that that amount of vitriolic anger and animosity on the internet, unchecked, is not only unsafe, but is also a serious problem. Because it's a problem that is wrong with our society as a whole, and in general, with our grasp of the democracy in which we live in. People having that level of unchecked instability was always going to lead to unchecked problems, becoming even deeper of an issue and a concern. And the first way that we see this is people who believe that they have the justification and the right to antagonize people over the internet over crimes real or imagined, that they have no right to try and lord over anyone. And yet, that is exactly what happens. Most of, if not all, the fucking time. People who have no room and no right to say anything to anyone, acting as though they are God. It is, to say the least, fucking obnoxious. But what is to be done about this? How you fight this problem? Rip. There goes one durability point. I'm on 67. And there goes the scroll. Fuck me. Fox Hunter, Fox. I'll probably have to roll another fox. Fine. I roll. Ew. But as long as something like Twitter exists, you're always gonna have the problem of, Tumblr happening. Insular communities like that of Tumblr exist because, on one hand, you have society as a whole, but the behest and handle of a cabal of individuals that believe their voice is more important than everyone else's. So rather than those people being heard and their concerns being understood, and people taking those problems seriously and handling them as they should, you instead have a group of people who want to have the right to silence other people because they have nothing better to do. Woohoo! And it is from this concern and this worry that most of the open-ended problems of the internet arise. It's the reason why the $2 or the $10 shitposting club, which is to say, not Kiwi Farms, but the other $10 shitposting club. Not to say Kiwi Farms hosts money or anything. I'm thinking of something awful. Is the reason why that place is known for being what it is. Because you just have a whole bunch of shitlords that have now basically given up being shitlords and trade for being fucking woke scolds who hound and harass people. And their excuse to do so is, well, we have the right politics. People running to places like Reddit that they think the best tactic to get what they want is to try and bully somebody on a platform where they can act like they're a bigger hot tamale than everyone else. All of the problems that are brought about with people having unchecked egos, getting out of control, especially if they're a person who has a business, and their business is basically to be a creator of some kind. It is that very issue that causes half of the fucking things we have as problems right now. And Twitter is just, it is not the thing that started the fire. Not even close. This is a problem of untapped human malice. the evil that men do that they can't stop themselves from doing. Yeah, we all do at some point in time. You know, not everybody's a good person, and yet even the best person in the world still has a little bit of darkness in them, right? It is not the thing that started that cycle, because that's just human nature. But it is something that is exacerbating the worst negative qualities of humanity and using it as a method to generate content from said malice. I think it was somebody. If it wasn't Poe, it was me, and if it wasn't me, it was probably Archon. If it wasn't Archon, it was maybe Jay. I don't know. Time no longer exists as a concept for me. Everything flows in and out of my mind like a wellspring. It was somebody who we all know the name of that said that Twitter is like the open-ended wasteland slash Thunderdome that everybody has to fight in order to survive. And I feel that that is very accurate. So, to finish the answer to your question, um, and to finish my thought, because my guild's being very fucking lazy, and people are just trying to avoid not talking. The thing that causes all of the problems that arise I forgot my fucking statement again. Jesus Christ. As long as Twitter exists, you're going to have a problem of untapped and unchecked human fucking malice. And of people fucking people over in general. Because they have, basically nothing better to do. And as long as Twitter has the open ass end of the internet sticking right up its fucking backside, and as long as people are able to have excuses to not be their best self because it gives them political expediency to do so, or whatever excuse you can come up with that gives them an opportunity to just treat people like garbage, Twitter will always be around. It'll always be around. It will always find a way to justify itself. It will always be an easy to go to outlet, and will always be beheld to this creature that we all find ourselves enslaved by. It is the hope that that would not be the problem and not be the case, and that we as humans would be able to rise above our pettiness, but honestly, we're not. That's the best answer I can really give you there. If it stays around, it's going to be not just because it makes companies money, and not just because we're all addicted to it in the worst way possible, fiending like a crack addict. It's going to be because we like to be like this. We like to attack each other like this. We like to antagonize each other like this. Realistically, most of us don't even know each other. We don't know ourselves from the hide to the boot. But that doesn't fucking matter, because we don't have to know each other. We just have to not like each other enough to not like ourselves. And then... Why can I not access your shop? Come on. Are you supposed to be the seller? Did somebody fuck up Maeve's inventory, or what? At least my weapon's prepared. Bunch of my shit's enchanted. Or unenchanted. I gotta bless my fucking pendants before they drop off me. Arminia? I hope my very bad answer was a good enough answer. I don't feel like it was. What game is that I'm playing? The game itself is Mabinogai, but I am not playing the live server. I am playing as part of a private server called Mabinogai Professional, Mabi Pro. Blew me halfway across the room. That is the game that I'm playing. I forgot my sentence again. I hope that answer was good enough, Tora. It was probably very long and drawn out, but that's the best answer I can properly give you to tell you my entire full thoughts. If what you wanted was a much simpler, shorter answer than that, my answer is that I think Twitter is the worst thing that could have happened to human existence possible. And that the more time that we all spend on it, the more desensitized we become until it becomes easier for us to alienate and also antagonize each other. For anything. And everything. I saw I have other questions. Hold on. I have to make sure to pick up our gold because we have a fuckload of money on the ground. And items. Nobody ever picks up their drops. I'll be damned if I let this much money go to waste. Strong ass bastards. They get to spend hours playing the game. And my pet's dead. Alright. Next question. Can I ask you a question? Do you like Imagine Dragons? Graxon 500 and happy birthday. Hope you have many more. Me too, dude. It would really suck if I died of a heart attack right now. What do I think of Imagine Dragons? A band that has changed places with Coldplay. I don't really care one way or another about Imagine Dragons in general, as like a band. But one thing that I have noticed is the pervasiveness of like bands that are considered hipster-like in my vicinity. They are prevalent. I wouldn't say they're constant, but I noticed exactly how not anything Imagine Dragons was as a band, because originally they have some songs that go in, right? But in general, they're a band that you kind of forget exists. And it sucks. Because a lot of their early discography is kind of okay. And at the same time, it's like garbage. Like actual fucking garbage. Like, holy shit, this is so bad. It's really great that they're covering the option. I also need to be careful, because my level up is actually in a bit, and I don't have enough experience to level up while I'm fighting. Make sure we get the last hit. especially if they're dropping money. Come on, get in there. Just need to tell my pet to fucking heal me. Loads of money and loads of potions too. Holy shit. But yeah. Imagine Dragons is kind of like a band that I kinda used to like a lot. But ever since music for me has become basically sounding way too much the same, I just kinda like you know? I don't hate them, but they're not my favorite, and they're not what I'd say is my go-to, you know? Wrong place. Why's my map for this so fucking small? I need to remind myself I need to get more Phoenix feathers. Still can't believe they keep leaving this kind of money on the ground. Almost at fucking 80k. When do dailies reset? Did anybody else have any question for me? Please keep them coming. I feel really bad, especially after Jay said, "You're not talking enough, nigga." I got time. I got places to go. Also, I'm falling behind. Fuck. Isn't Doran's a 3-man? Tears afraid of. Mini potion, please. Thank you. Come on, let me in. Let me in. Let me in. The fuck was guarding? Give me the money. Give me the money! I really don't like that I keep falling behind them, because I stop to pick up money. They're so rich, they don't gotta worry. I am not so lucky. Damn. Come on. Trying to do my best to pull aggro for them so they can be able to focus it down. That is not looking out the way that it seems to be. Now I have its attention. Sweet. Happy birthday, thank you. I have not been touching my cell phone on the side. I'm being a bad gamer. I'm supposed to be able to multitask 15 things at once. And here I am not even being able to focus. And my game's lagging. Pick myself to the Demonite Mine. Set myself up for a wonderful time. Take me out to the back of the shed and shoot me in the back of the head. Take me to the back of the shed and shoot me in the back of the head. Have that running ultra word for a bit. I'm not in the right district. And this flyer has expired. Hit me out at the back of the shed. Shoot me in the back of the head. District. There we go. Now we should be cooking with gravy. I think was indeed set for the Colon District. I hate that we don't have the ability to have them use the same one. Kinda sucks. Ah, fine. Almost got time to get another riding mount. Any repairs I need to do? Yes, there is. Then pitch black on the screen. Up. It's fixed. Cool. Got worried. Under rank C. Under rank F. Hang me out to the back of the shed and shoot me in the back of the head. Hang me out to take me out to take me out. Out of the box, out of the box, out of the box, out of the box, out of the box. Fuck, come on. Don't hold back. Fuck me, that's the wrong mission. There we go. Let me ask Tom. That's 4 out of 5. I'm gonna have to get more holy water. Jesus Christ. This cough is just not going away. Now people want to come do dailies. Anytime I'm active during this time, nobody else wants to come. Ah, fuck Christ. Let me try opening up the browser now that I got things set up. Hopefully, Brave does not take up too much time with one tab open, so I can see what's popping on Twitter and make sure that I can repost the stream again. My arm is still itchy. My guild is tagging me around. Just don't tag me back. Capped explosion. Maybe pick herbs. I have never done this quest before. Get fucking Hasbro tapped. Let's see. Help here. Nope, none of that. That's slow. Oh, he could kill him. That's very gay. Questions? No questions. I'm going to do the thing. Going to re-Twitterify my thing. Oh, how the fuck do you win that? Hot. This is great. Coughing my life fucking lungs out. What should I get? 2. Nothing I really can raise except this. Which I guess is fine. Oh god. Alright, experience level's 12. Yeah, ego's evolving again. Teleport to the thing. Break time. What did you miss? You missed me answering some questions. And you missed me doing my dailies. With some of my guild members. But that's about it. Same Coral time, same Coral channel. I ain't going anywhere. See, I feel bad because, on one hand, people don't ask questions. On top of this fucking coughing that decided to spring itself up randomly. I feel bad because I feel like people then tune the hell out. At the same time, I don't just want to go on rambling about nothing. I want to at least answer people's questions. But it doesn't seem people have any questions they really want to ask. They just dip in, they see, oh, what's crack-a-lackin'? Nope, I'm bored. Eso si quieres. You have questions you want to ask me? Nothing's off the table. Realistically, I feel bad because if people don't ask me questions, I feel that's my fault. What are you doing something wrong with my thing? Come on, Brave. My browser decided it wanted to go haywire. Oh, it's my fault for still having a shit computer. I better not be getting sick. Today is double pay at the fucking factory, and I want my fucking $23 an hour. Yep, I don't want these unknowns. looking for 2 slot crystals. It doesn't seem like I'm pulling any. Which sucks. Meanwhile, D2's just chugging along. Oh. Now we're talking. Getting a lot of fire opals. Which one was it? Should have better memory than this. Is it Cheong? It was Cheong. Ding 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 dong. Ding 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 dong. Ding 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 dong. Alright. $27 out of $35. Okay. Hot. Hmm. Somebody asked me a question on Twitter, of all places. I'm not sure if they asked it here, but I'll read this anyways. Did I feel bad for writing an immediate post-Civil War story with period-accurate language? I will potentially use response clips as a defense. No. You shouldn't feel bad for anything that you write. Realistically, it is just is what it is, you know? As far as I can think with writing, I don't care what a person writes in their stories or what they choose to focus on as a story beat. One of the few people who doesn't give a shit about that. I don't care from where the idea or the muse to write something or create something comes from. I care about whether or not it's good. I could care less about what inspired the thought. I care about if the thought gave interest and influence to something that is entertaining or is useful. Anything outside of that is inconsequential, is inconceivable, or is immaterial. Although I guess if your concern is that do you feel that you should feel bad for yourself, not particularly that something bad will happen because you wrote it. Well, that's on you. It's kind of something you have to learn to allow yourself to do. Remember to allow yourself a chance to have fun while you're doing whatever it is you're doing creatively. Because if you're not having fun doing it creatively, it's usually gonna reflect that state of mind that you're in. Not that there's anything wrong with that, you know. I should have bought energy drinks before I came home. I should ask that guy to take me to the store. Yep. 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 There's no need for that saga. What the fuck? fixed names. I forgot the name of that area. Oh, good. I used all my fucking stamina. Groovy. Box Gladius needs to be enhanced or blessed again. Pets, 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 pets. Which one do I want? Another antique mimic, maybe? I don't have a rainbow spirit. Fragment. Hello, fragment spirit. You're not very big. That's okay. What are your skills? first aid. Rank F in combat stats. Rank F in healing stats. Here it'll look pretty. Yep. Pet reset just happened just now, I think. That or I'm insane. One or the other. I'm gonna lean on insane because I don't think that's the proper that time. I need to really find a place to start putting these damn gems. Okay. The cats are fighting outside my window again. That or that's my brother getting out of his car. One or the other. One would ask why he's outside this late at night, but I'm not him. Alright. I have to get the thing to do the thing to do the thing. I need to get a crow. And then I need to get a thief to bridge the crow. Oh, it's the weapon! Gotta make sure I got all that shit together. Then I get that on the battle sword. I can hear a voice, so yes, it is indeed my brother. That or somebody's about to ass blast me through the window. It appears that we have run out of questions. In which case, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you if you came by. I don't know when I'll next be live again, but I will see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye.